I've always had a difficulty in making choices. No, not small choices. Not particularly those, but bigger choices. Though, to say that the small choices don't give me at least momentary pause would be misleading. I don't know why I'm like this. I agonize over what to order at a restaurant, or if I'm standing in front of a drink dispenser, I have to consider every option. I'm not good at going with impulse. I'm not good at breathing and acting without thinking through all of the unnecessary stops along the way. And oftentimes, that's quite a strength, having this capacity and tendency, let's say, to sit and analyze and critique, to deconstruct. But you can spend so much time looking for the right choice, or the right path, the right option, or the best thing, that by the time you finally start working your way through your wandering arithmetic, your trepidatious calculations, the moment's passed, and that you can see clearly, as you so often can in hindsight, all the things that would have been good or right or beneficial to do. And I'm definitely feeling some of the paralysis of choice, indecision, in freedom right now. I have so much I can be doing, so much time, energy, privilege, and potential right now in what I can be spending my time on, and it's so hard to know where to start. Being brought up, I would hear time and time again about how important it is to make plans. Like, think about where you want to go to school. Think about what you want to go to school for. What do you want to have a career in? What's your 5-year plan? I don't know. I've never really bought into into the validity of those. To make a plan is to tempt fate, right? And it feels like when I've made plans, I've often learned to instead roll with the punches and improvise, because the plans very rarely work out the way you intend them to. And the old adage, no plan survives first contact. But there's a great sense of security that comes with planning, that comes with scheduling and organizing and lying to yourself, really, that you have more control and authority than you really do. Some people build their entire lives around that false premise, that lie. And they scream and wail and lash out with intense viciousness when they feel that's being threatened. It's so sad. I mean, and truth be told, I'm fairly comfortable doing as little as I'm doing, being as indulgent as I'm being. But there is a sense of potential and absence, a recognition of all the things that aren't, if that makes sense. You know, when people talk about success, when they talk about happiness, when they talk about joy and freedom and what that looks like, you know, what actions create those things. So often you hear about people traveling the world, doing things that are on their bucket list, learning new things. I don't have a bucket list. Now, the things I want to see before I die are so much bigger than me. Yeah, it'd be fascinating to travel the world, but why bother? I don't mean that in a, you know, we all die, nothing really matters kind of way. But I'm going to die. I don't really matter kind of way. I want it to be more clear how I can effectively help to make the world a better place. Yeah, of course, better. The definition and nuances of better depend on the audience, right? There's no correct answer. There's no clean cut, precise. And as you start analyzing consumption, production, participation, everything's so damn complicated. Like, there have been very well-meaning people who've planted entire forests of trees in the hopes of stopping soil erosion, bringing forests back to a deforested area, but either they planted a monoculture, which made the forest particularly vulnerable to disease or specific conditions, or they unintentionally used species that negatively impacted the environment in some way, whether they be, invasive species or species that outproduce or outcompete other native species in a way that's actually more harmful on the biosphere than if nothing had been planted at all. you can look at biofuel, for example. Biofuel in the mid 2000s was actually you would create more carbon in the like the farming of corn, for example, corn ethanol. The amount of fuel you have to use and energy you have to use to grow corn, harvest that corn, refine that corn into ethanol, and then the emissions of that ethanol, all combined, were worse than using certain kinds of fossil fuels. Right? Even if you have a good idea, even if you have a good thought, and biofuels have advanced a bit, at least, since the early 2000s, so this is a dated analogy. You know, it's very comforting to have little lies in our lives that tell us what is good, what is right, what to strive for, what to believe, what to value. And oh my god, the security, the peace of mind that things like religion, you know, spirituality, codes of moral or ethical conduct give us, philosophy. Even you know, problematic ones like nationalism, patriotism, or all sorts of things. They give this sense of righteousness, of correctness, of belonging. And yeah, it's alluring. It's absolutely alluring. But I don't really have that right now. What I have are tools and a predisposition to dissect, deconstruct, analyze, and criticize really just about everything I come across. Intentionally or not, willingly or not, I'm just really predisposed to that behavior. So when I think, you know, some small part of me yearns to just leave the apartment tomorrow and go wandering, hop a train, get on an airplane, and just fucking go somewhere. I don't know where to go. It's not that I can't afford it, because I can for a little while. It's not that I'm afraid, not particularly. Sometimes I am, but not right now so much. It's just a big, empty field of possibility. Like, I have plans in the fall to visit the Midwest, see family, see friends, and then I have a couple of weddings I'm going to, and I'd love to be able to go back to Indiana and show off who I am now. You know, I've always had this soft spot for like this idea of a reunion. Being able to come back and show people how great I am, how cool I am, smart or attractive or whatever, how much I've grown or changed. It's so fucking juvenile. Because it's not about them in any way. It's about me satisfying myself, proving to myself that I've done good, that I am good, that I am better. Finding validity and purpose and vindication in that fantasy. Right? So I don't really want that. Like, as much as I look forward to seeing some people back in Indiana and seeing some of my family in Kentucky, I carry a good deal of resentment within me that I have lived out here for 5 years now. And so many of them haven't visited me. Like, I left Indiana, but came back and visited when I went to Arizona and New York, and with some of my family, my dad's side of the family particularly, we've always had to go to them. They've never come to us, and I don't value that. I don't appreciate that. There's no security there. There's no... I have a great deal of disbelief that these people really have my back in any meaningful way. And I used to struggle with this a lot when I lived in Indiana. I do this thing when I was a teenager. And it's a horrible thing. You shouldn't do it. I would just stop talking to people. I'd stop messaging people, texting people, calling people to see who would reach out to me. I was testing them. And the realization of how many people don't miss you in a week or a month is very upsetting. And maybe they notice that you're not around. Maybe they miss having you around, but it's not really the same thing as feeling like they care. They don't reach out to check up on you. They don't really play an active part in your life. I was really hurt by it when I was a kid. I was really hurt by it, but I mean, truth of the matter is, so many people are just surviving. You wake up, you get ready for work, you go to work, you come home, you try to recover from work, you go to sleep, you do it all again. A lot of the time, people don't have the bandwidth to maintain a lot of relationships. They rely on other people reaching out to them. Still, not a great realization. I don't want to spend money going out to bars and partying. God. It just sounds so fucking exhausting. I've done that. I lived that life. I'm pretty good, dude. I'm pretty good. I'm not opposed to dating, but the idea of putting in the effort of the roulette of trying to get to know people and pretending like I care long before I actually do. Oh, that sounds horrible. And all the little bruises, all the little points of trauma that will certainly get poked and prodded and stepped on, and I don't really look forward to that. No, I don't resent company. Oftentimes I long for it, but particular kinds of company too, depending on circumstances. But you can't just manifest that out of thin air. You can't reasonably expect people to magically manifest and meet your needs and your wants, and there not be some trade in that, some sort of upkeep that you have to pay into that relationship to maintain that relationship, to give something in return. Now, it's not unfair by any standard. I mean, that's how it should work. We give and we take, we give and we take, and hopefully in the process, we're all a little better for it. I just don't know what I have to give. Sure, I'm intelligent, witty, occasionally funny. I'm passionate and creative and critical. I'm pretty cute. I care a lot about things. I really do. But I don't know. I don't really feel that special, that remarkable. And I don't need to feel like, I'm a little snowflake, because I'm certainly not. Just, I can't fairly get a read on myself, how I measure up in comparison to other people. And I know, you're not supposed to compare people. It's not supposed to be hierarchical. But it is. Relationships, whether they're platonic, romantic, sexual, fraternal, even familial, there's a hierarchy. Parents have a favorite kid. Kids have a favorite parent. Siblings have a favorite sibling. Friends have a favorite friend. Lovers have a favorite lover. And we are fucking fooling ourselves if we're pretending otherwise. And I can't help but wonder, right? It's just so much damn work. On the whole, genuinely, I'm doing fairly well. I have so much potential sitting in front of me, and I don't know what to do with it. I'm putting a lot of time and energy into pumping out this mod I'm working on, just because, God, I just want to get it fucking over with. Just want to get done, not be a work in progress anymore, and just upload the final version, say fuck it. Look at what I did. If you like it, like it. If you don't, but it's done. I'm not really driven very much to write or paint or draw or do art in general. I start thinking about writing stories or anything else, and I just start getting a fucking migraine. when I start feeling creative. Yeah, I can see like broad strokes and bullet points of narratives, and can jot those down. But God, I've written up so many campaigns, so many stories, so many ideas for settings, for concepts, for narratives that I've not been able to run, you know, a 20th of them to their potential. Because, you know, I get burnt out writing stuff on my own. If I involve other people, I have very little faith in other people not to be flaky. And hell, I can be quite flaky. No, I woke up today. As I was laying on the couch, I tossed away my phone because I looked at Twitter, and there's a bunch of fucking people arguing about, you know, everyday Twitter shit. Politics in some niche, dumb way that doesn't really matter because it's the internet. And no one's really listening or learning, they're just kind of screaming into the void. I hate it so much. Like, the question that came to mind, the thought that came to mind is, what have you built today? What have any of you built today? What have you done today? What have you constructed? Have you fed someone? Have you clothed someone? Have you warmed someone or helped someone cool off? Have you given someone water? Have you given someone aid? Have you given someone emotional support? Have you literally gone to try to build homes? Have you contributed your labor to the creation of renewable energy? Have you used your labor to stop physical abuse? To use yourself in some very real capacity to protect people? I just fucking hate seeing so many people, myself included, going on long, exhaustive, ideologue tirades, not doing anything. I mean, fuck, not even putting their money towards causes, not even like abstractly contributing their labor or the value of their labor in that sense. It's just such a fucking dystopia where everything is constant consumption. All production is just kind of theoretical or conceptual to the point of ridiculousness. Trying to access and gain you know, agency and participation within any really constructive, materially impactful field feels fanciful. No, it definitely definitely a lot. You know, I have no illusions that I could go out and save the world, but yeah, I've saved lives. Not many, but a few. always felt wildly inadequate, because it's not like, you go and make someone's life perfect forever. You just get them through a bad minute, a bad day. And it's not like the bad stops happening to them or you or anyone else. Now the next day is full of all kinds more suffering. We just have to get through it, and you have to hope that other people are willing to get through it. But they aren't always. I fairly recently had an acquaintance move back into town. I was looking forward to the possibility of getting to see them more, get to know them more, because I really liked them the few times we had hung out. And within a week of moving back to the city, they committed suicide. And, personally, I don't have a great feeling of loss. It's just... man, it's depressing. I've had, oh god, too many friends decide to take their own lives or end their lives on their own terms. And I honestly have a good deal of respect for it. I believe fundamentally that if anyone should have a say in ending your life prematurely, it should be you. I just wish that they didn't feel that need. I wish that we lived in a world where people had hope. Where the fucking ocean wasn't on fire, where cities weren't flooding, where heat waves weren't killing hundreds, where we weren't digging up the bodies of thousands of children buried in unmarked graves, where we weren't represented by old, rich, powerful people who promise to do something and do nothing. I really do begrudge a great deal about this world. So why would traveling or any of these fucking shallow, pedantic things that I'm told I should want, or is been impressed upon me that I should want? Why would I find satisfaction in so much triviality? And this fucking sword of Damocles is hanging over. How it can be so hard to enjoy anything in that light. And like with this energy that I have, with this attitude that I have, very doomer hours, yeah, but like I don't really want to share that. I don't feel great about the idea of bringing more people into my life when I have this kind of constant pessimism, this constant oh god damn it. I forget the word. Fatalism. I want to be a more hopeful person. I do. I want to be a more optimistic person. One who focuses more on planning and building and doing than thinking and critiquing and analyzing. I mean, it's not... I don't know. I'm not, like, deeply displeased with who I am or anything like that. I'm pretty at peace with who I am. I mean, there are parts of me I'm working on, but broadly, no, I like me. Just don't really know what the fuck to do. Yeah, I family visiting. My mom is visiting later this month, and I don't know. I always feel like it's so disappointing to visit me. It's not, but like she's talking about, oh, we can do whatever you want. We can go hiking, we can go backpacking, we could like take a ferry, we could go think of someplace you really wanted to go since you moved to Seattle that you haven't had a chance to go. We can do that. I'm like, there's nothing. Mom, I don't really want to go anywhere. I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to climb a fucking mountain because it doesn't matter. Now, I used to really enjoy rock climbing. I used to really enjoy hiking and feeling away from the world and being able to fucking breathe. But those moments are transitory, fleeting bits of morphine. You know, they make the pain and suffering and just abysmal existential suffering that is our consumerist capitalist hellscape. These little moments of escapism make it easier. Yeah, I've talked about this before, but so many things to me just seem like distractions. Games, movies, music, bright colors and song and festivals and good food and good drinks and happy little moments. Just keep us occupied and distracted and entertained for 1 second to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And if you have this constant train of serotonin and dopamine disrupted, if you're forced to just sit and feel and think and breathe, for me at least, there's just the great empty maw of entropy, of the wide depths of time. There's the calculable, very calculable ways that we've destroyed so much and made our world so unlivable. There's this fleeting chance that anything will ever get meaningfully better, and this haunting certainty that in the end we're going to be responsible for our own annihilation. I don't know. I guess I'd rather live and make peace with that screaming void, with that haunting existential dread. Then deny it, then close my eyes to it, then run away from it. Act like it isn't there. I get so angry when I see people living superficial, happy, shallow lives. I really do. Why the fuck are you flying? Why the fuck are you driving? What are you doing to make the world a better place? You're not doing a goddamn thing. Not that I am, really. I mean, God, so much of what I do, I just try to minimize my own existence. I try to consume not a lot of power. I try to eat foods that don't impact the environment very much. I do so much to minimize my impact on the world around me, to hide, right? And it's so infuriating seeing other people not do the same. Just live so fucking inconsiderately with how much they consume, what they consume. And just how ignorant so many people are to the consumption and the consequences of their consumption, like I'm talking about, but just more broadly to things going on in the world. Just how fucked up and dire for so many people things are. Just how blissfully ignorant so many people are is fucking infuriating. It gets me so angry. So I don't know. God. I should be burp. I should be in a place where I could find happiness and satisfaction. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't think it's out there for me. I think the closest thing that I get to happiness and satisfaction is vindication. A feeling of righteousness. I think that's probably the closest I'll get to it. Doing something out of spite, particularly something violent out of spite, and the accompanying feeling of retribution. This is not a new phenomenon for me. This feeling of like, I'm never gonna be happy. And I don't think I want to be. To me, happiness is stagnation. Contentedness is stagnation, and the price of that happiness, of that contentedness, is so high. It's so high. I don't think I possess the capacity for it. When I was younger, I attributed this to, ignorance is bliss, right? He who increases in knowledge increases in suffering. That I just knew too much. There was a line at some point where I should have stopped questioning, and I didn't, and I passed that line, and I can't go back. And whatever happiness there is in ignorance, in shallowness, in blissful unawareness, it's not for me. That's a door I can't open. That's a window that's closed. I don't long for it, but it does hurt. I want to not be afraid of the future. I want to not be scared for other people. I want to be happy. I want to feel loved and appreciated and be proud of myself. I want to know that I'm helping people around me, even in small ways. That my presence isn't an impediment or burden, that I'm not taking up space or scaring people or making people uncomfortable. I just want to be good and feel good and make other people feel good. I want to make the world just a tiny bit less shitty if I can. I want to help people hurt a little less if I can, or at least make it so they don't have to hurt alone. That seems like an achievable goal. That seems like something that you can do. It's not like pie in the sky, fix everything kind of agenda. All I want to do is care. Try. And I don't know how to start. I mean, the caring part, obviously. I'm very capable of that, but I don't know how to try in any in any way that fits into this capitalist hell. It's really the skill set and the service that I'm talking about is one that you need to be certified to do reasonably. That certification costs money, time, and would just lock me into a career doing something that I might really love, but having it be a career would probably make me hate and resent it. I don't want that. I don't know. I mean, I know full well how fucking draining and exhausting I am to talk to and listen to when I get like this. Or just all the time, but mostly when I get like this. When I get in these cycles of like, this isn't good enough, that's not good enough, this isn't good enough, that's not good enough, nothing is good enough. This is bad because of this is bad because of that, that's bad because of that, that's bad because of that. And I really have a very hard time when I get like this in finding silver linings. I really do. I hope it's a quality of mine that has done good, has found value, has proven to be useful. Because I know for a fact it's hurt people, and diminished people, discouraged people. You know, I do such an effective job at speaking in these absolutes and speaking with a great deal of certainty and with a tonality and voice of some weird authority, right? That I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and that these conclusions are all final, that these observations and philosophies, if you could call them that, are, the totality, impregnable, nigh assaultable, right? That's not what I want to hear. That's the opposite of what I so often want to hear when I get caught into critical loops. I want so badly to have someone I trust and respect, someone who I know is intelligent and I look up to, tell me that I'm wrong and help show me that I'm wrong. Help me see points of hope, of light, points of potential, avenues of growth, building. But that's not something that I'm very good at, creating myself. It's definitely something that I tend to need help with. But again, I'm super picky about who and when and how I'll accept that help. Like, the amount of times my grandparents have been like, "Oh, have you thought about working for the Salvation Army?" Like, no. Have you? Wait. I know that you're very old and Christian and have an interesting idea of what it is you think that they do, but rest assured they are not actually helping people very much, and they're incredibly this and that and this and that, and I do that with fucking everything. Oh, how do you feel about doing this? Well, here's a problem, here's a problem, here's a problem. Well, how about this? Well, here's a problem, here's a problem here. I'm a great editor. I'm a fucking fantastic editor. I'm a wonderful critic. And if you make me a part of a team to improve something, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm your kid. I gotcha. And in some small way, I hope that that's being demonstrated in, like, the fucking mod projects that I work on. Like, when I play games, so often I can just get into negative tirades and loops about things that are bad, that I have an issue with, design philosophy or mechanics or narrative or, what have you. It's coming from a place of desperately wanting to be able to change and improve it. I mean, at least with games, it's easy, right? All you have to do is be willing to learn, have an open mind, realize you're going to make mistakes, and, just do things one step at a time. There's no real consequence for doing it wrong. You do it wrong, you just go back and fix it, or it just doesn't work, and it's fine, because then you learn from that mistake. But in reality, fucking things up has consequences. Even if that consequence is just time spent. There are times where I just wish, like I talked about, almost an hour ago now, I wish that someone would just sit me down, talk with me, analyze the hell out of me, and tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Tell me what my calling is. Tell me what I'd be good at. I wouldn't buy it. Truthfully. I've taken so many goddamn personality tests that they're all bullshit. So many aptitude tests that they're all bullshit. But it'd be really nice, you know, hey Alex, you're really good at this. I think you would, you'd be really helpful in this project. Or you have something to contribute here. You know, that'd be nice. But to be fair, I haven't greatly demonstrated those capacities. I mean, so much of my time and energy has been spent on this stubborn, nihilistic, frustration. I haven't jumped through a lot of hoops that are necessary or helpful in making those determinations or qualifications or considerations. But I don't know, man. I'm intelligent, but I don't think I'm particularly intelligent. Maybe, but I don't believe in meritocracy. I mean, we obviously don't live in one, even though we supposedly do. There are people who are absolutely brilliant who'll never get half of the opportunities I have. So what hope do I have? Ugh. I am just exhaustively negative tonight. God, I'm tired. I don't want to sleep. I've been tired for hours. For like the last 4 hours, I've been like, I should go to bed. But I'm having one of those nights where it's like, whoa, why bother going to bed? You're just gonna hallucinate all night, wake up in the morning, do this bullshit all over again, and you're gonna feel as dissatisfied and full of want tomorrow as you are tonight. You're gonna find no real peace or satisfaction in sleep, just a temporary off switch. Just a short break. Is that really what you want? What if you just stay awake until you find something to hyperfixate on to distract you from the gnawing nothingness? The gnawing feeling of absence. Yeah, not really constructive. Not really constructive at all. Yeah. Things are okay for me. Really, I have a lot to be thankful for. I do. And I am. And I have time. Time for what? Well, we'll see. Even if I do nothing but live a quiet life, full of comfort, and moments of curiosity, maybe that's enough. It's not very aspirational or inspirational, but fuck it. Who's counting, right? Who's making a comparison at the end of the day? Not me. Well, it's been an hour. And I could probably ramble on for another one, but... this has been self-indulgent enough, I think. So I'm gonna go embrace that temporary void of sleep, and man, fuck knows. Maybe do something tomorrow. I'm probably just gonna be full of this same energy of, man, I really want to do something, but I don't know what to do. And, if so, I'll deal with it then. But for tonight, I'm gonna say toodaloo. Take care. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.